the ones from the More Zionist Temple in New Jersey look like, and you will see they're the same motherfuckers.
Now, when you said they were killing up these Negroes, were these people that were part of the Dirty Moors that came here that they were getting rid of? So they wanted them off their land because these would have been the people drinking the blood.
They did the same thing to Germany they did to us. They should doing the same thing they've been doing to us. They was doing it to Germany. Remember, the whole World War II was started during World War I with the Balfour Declaration.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was about money and the leverage of the military of people you giving money to. So France was the sworn enemy of Germany at the time. Huguenots that's hiding out in Switzerland by now. But they still control Germany from Switzerland.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
And so they the ones that have what's called a merciless embargo on Germany, where they had to pay a restitution so stiff that the country couldn't function. That was the campaign that Hitler came to power on. And most of the stuff, that's why he wanted the blood of Akhenaten to clone, to give you your Obama.
What?
They try to use the blood of the father to usurp the reign of Tut, the son. So they figured if they can clone this character of Akhenaten in the modern day, that they would be able to override the right of Tut to rule, which is Tupac. Tupac Amaru. And that's why you're always thankful for God. And that's Shakur.
Okay. You know, I knew it was something special about Tupac when I kept seeing them mention his name over and over, even though he's allegedly dead. Like his T-shirt, they got T-shirts all over Walmart with his image on it, benefits or in order to get the stimulus check. And I was like, what? What? I was like, no, these people.
That pale-faced boy actually was named by his mama, Tupac Shakur.
Wow, he really was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think his mom and daddy changed their name to Shakur too. Tupac was loved more. He wasn't just loved like that by us. Them cholos love him too. I'm serious. Really? He had made the dude they called the Mexican Machiavelli was a singer, and he was one of the up and coming chiefs that Tupac had identified. That's why they killed him.
Okay.
And but he was a big influence in the Mexican culture of the day, just like Tupac was over here, and they was tight. This is where you get your Panther and Zapatista treaty from. The Zapatista is the tribes in the mountains of Mexico that's been fighting to get the colonizers out of Mexico from the very beginning. They still fighting. They never stop fighting. Right? And we never stopped fighting as quiet as it kept, but we went from fighting in physical combat to a spiritual and intellectual war. The parameters of our war, the rules of engagement, is we had to educate ourselves above the condition. Right? Because once you're sufficiently educated, you can no longer be a slave. You're not fit for slavery. They have to have you ignorant to make you be a slave. Right? Then you got to remember something called the Booyah tribe. Them Samoans, they love Tupac. He loved them. They love Ice Cube. He loved them.
Cute.
Right? So we got it all over the land. Right now, we have the people that got the residue of the old ways that still have those racist ideologies.
Yeah.
But we call all tribes on deck. They came from everywhere. They didn't just come from the Americas. They came from Asia, Mongolians, Huns. They came from the Philippines. They came from China, Japan. They came from the Tongan Island. Why you think there's so many different cultures over here more than anywhere else? Big Mama said all hands on deck. So if your Big Mama was tied to an Earth tribe, she was sending somebody over here.
Wow.
Hawaii never stopped fighting for Hawaii, and Hawaii was never ratified as a state. They just took that shit.
I met the Hawaiian who told me that, called me on the phone and told me that.
Yeah. Those people been never stopped fighting for their land. Samoans never stopped fighting for Samoa. The Tongans never stopped fighting for Tonga. Right? The New Zealanders, they never stopped fighting for the Maori. Australia never stopped fighting for the Aborigines. They all been fighting the colonizers, but everybody thought that we had to use their system. We didn't know that the only way to beat them is to go back to the tribal oral tradition. Now we know. So you're seeing it active all over the world. If you could pull up all of the protests that's going on in the islands down there, those Maori protests, they done with the BS. The tribal mothers have spoken. They put them all on public notice everywhere. And they've been put on notice in America too. So all of the colonizing forces that was governments are now defunct. And we moving into where the ones that is elders in the community that know what's going on is restructuring tribal history and tribal order on the land. It's just you can't do it instantly at the blink of an eye because you will lose too many of the people that you need for the takeover. So you have to do it systematically, step by step, and follow the process. And at the end of the process, we back on top. We still in the process.
But why are they adhering to this oral tradition? They could say, forget y'all's oral tradition.
Universal law.
Okay.
The right to self-determination and autonomous government. When we won the war, the Conjure War, we won the ability to reinsert our rights in the free will universe to autonomy. Most of us don't know how to be autonomous, and we talk about we don't need no leaders. Where the hell are we going? The tribal traditions all over Earth say the one who knows the way is obligated to lead the path. It's not subjective. It's not whether he want to lead the path. He obligated. That's an obligation that he owes his bloodline and in the Earth claims. So once you know the way, you got to just systematically keep explaining it to the people until it click. The more people it click with, the faster it moves. And so right now we following the oral tradition and we marching down the campaign of reclamation, right, and redemption. And I'm the family redeemer of the most families right now. And as the family redeemer, I'm telling y'all where all of the traps at. That paperwork a trap. That African slave narrative a trap. I don't know what the hell a foundational Black American. I don't know what that is.
That's a bunch of crap.
But I can tell you this: those organic, original, earth-born to the land, the earth know you belong here, and the prime creator know you belong here, and everybody else got to move out our way. All we got to do is be willing to stand up and be who we are. And that's why Elijah Muhammad kept screaming, "Be on it. Be yourself and accept your own," because when you realize what's going on, you can do something about it. But as long as you're in darkness, you can't find the light. Bumping your head on the dresser, trying to find the switch.
Family, we have 2,005 people in the chat. Hit the like button. Send Chief Pontiac some love. Send him a Cash App blessing, please, to $SIKAPE. Chief, somebody wants to know, who's this Statue of Liberty? Is the Statue of Liberty Lucifer, the light bearer?
It's straight off the painting from Europe of Lucifer. It's the exact painting with the dress on.
What?
Yeah.
Never knew.
All you gotta do, you can go to, anybody can go right now because there's people that did videos on it.
Okay.
Once I said it, I started seeing videos pop up all over the place where they was talking about it. But if you go to TikTok and you type in Statue of Liberty of Lucifer, you will see the imagery. They'll show you all the imagery
Mm. Mm.
and give you the descriptive analysis and the particulars like the chain on the ankle, the
Mm-hmm.
torch.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah. Now remember, the Statue of Liberty was designed by the same person that designed the Eiffel Tower. And the Eiffel Tower was signed to commemorate the signing of the Paris Accord, commonly known as the Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
What? Okay. Say that one more time.
The Eiffel Tower was erected as the commemoration of the Paris Accord, commonly known as the Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
Wow.
It wasn't what the Moors told us it was. The agreement was a ceasefire agreement between two different royal classes or companies that was transporting goods across the Atlantic to
Mm-hmm.
Europe, and they was robbing each other and fighting each other on the high seas. So they had to come to a agreement, and they signed the Paris Accord to stop them from fighting each other, so that they can unify and join forces to take everything from us.
Wow. The red flag with the green five-pointed star.
That's Noble Drew Ali made that flag. That's not the original Moroccan flag, because Morocco is not older than the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Then why is it flying? Why was it flying in the White House?
Because they used the flag as an identifier of the clan of Els
Mm.
as they took over, because they had Noble Drew Ali murdered
Mm.
and signed a contract with the corporation. That's why the new nationality card said the holder of this card is a U.S. citizen. It didn't say that under Noble Drew Ali.
Okay.
But the person that instituted that went behind Noble Drew Ali back.
Mm. Mm.
He used to be able to send a grand sheik into any court to get you out, because they didn't have a superior jurisdiction. So he had to get rid of Noble Drew Ali because he was a problem to the construct of the corporation masquerading as our government. He knew the truth.
Okay.
And so he left us enough codes that if we follow the codes he left, he tell us the same thing as Garvey and Elijah. He just tell it to us in a different way,
Okay.
right? So when we looking at his material, how are we looking at it?
Mm.
We looking at it from a dogmatic perspective. Oh, that sounds real slick. I'm gonna say that because the old girl gonna think that's some cute stuff to say, and she gonna be all in. Ain't got nothing to do with finding out what he talking about.
Mm.
Why did he put religious controversy in there?
Mm.
And you see all these fools running around swearing they got the best religion, and all of them dogmatic um, control measures.
Mm.
With nobody on this land calling themselves Christian, Hebrew, Jew, Israeli, or none of that before 1492, and all of a sudden we are the people in that book.
Mm.
So they didn't got us a fictitious book for our identity crisis to attach to somebody that we like in that book.
Mm.
I'm the spook by the door, Sam Greenlee. Since we want to identify with characters in fictional writings,
Mm.
I'm King Kong. Since we want to be fictional characters, I'm gonna be one worth being.
Right. Right.
Be nobody. But it's still the blueprint to the map of the military conquest. Because they
Mm.
told you about the Roman empires and when it would be broken at the feet of iron and clay by a single stone hewn without the aid of the hands of man from the side of the mountain. I mean, a woman did it,
Mm.
right? A woman selected him from the congregation of the people because the mountain is symbolic of the nations of the people.
Mm.
So one of them gonna come out of the collective nations of the people and strike the feet of iron and clay and bring down the whole Roman Empire at the end.
Wow.
But remember, when they give you the empires, it start with Babylon at the head,
Mm.
and end with America at the feet.
Wow. Thank you, Chief. I also want to thank Calistro for sending a super sticker. Thank you so much for the offering. God bless you and have a smile on you. Chief, I know it's getting late, and I have one final question if nobody else in the chat has a question. And that is, what is up with the Israeli conflict? What's going over there? I've heard them
That's
say Israel last. Go ahead.
that's a distraction.
Okay.
Those people that's talking about the Israel, your Ariel Sharons and your Benjamin Netanyahus, them Khazarians they supposed to be, they using that war to keep the forces from realizing what's going on in the Ukraine that's belligerent to all of the world.
Mm, okay.
Right? That war is true casualties. They don't got no problem with killing. We see that, right? They started the opposition force. You can't never let that get out your mind that they claiming to be fighting some people that they finance, wrote they constitutions, wrote they operational manuals. All that's written by the Mossad. And the hands selected the leadership to put it all together. The Mossad did that, just like the CIA did to ISIS, or ISIL as Obama called it.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he publicly came out and said, we currently training ISIL troops in
Sure
the
did.
Middle East. And ain't nobody paid him no attention because they never equated ISIL with being the CIA name for ISIS.
Mm-hmm.
They never knew that. So to them, they was thinking America was creating a policing force for them people from them people. All the
Okay.
time they was creating somebody to disgrace the name of the great mother, so we fear matriarchy when they say ISIS.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel that. Yes. Yes.
Only reason you need to fear the great mother is if your ass was bad while she was gone.
See, somebody wants to know what was Tartaria. Do you
Um,
know?
West of the Roman Empire.
Oh,
That's what it means,
okay.
right? But Tartarian civilization is a common generic term for Atlantean civilization that was global. They want to break it up, just like they tried to tell us that there was Olmecs, Incas, Mayans, and old Mississippians, like they wasn't the same people.
Mm.
They were the same people. They were just in different parts of the land, so they tried to separate them as if they different people. They the same people. They still there. You still got Afro Mexicans in Mexico.
Yeah.
Been there the whole time. They tell you they never been imported from nowhere. They ain't got no problem telling you they was already here. But why we don't know they was already here?
Mm.
A lot of us don't know that on the West Coast we used to marry tribes from Asia. That's why a lot of Mexicans look Asian.
Oh, wow.
But we did. It's in the logs of the emperors of China of coming over here by ship across
Oh.
the Pacific. It is written in African countries on the western coast of coming over here, bringing wives from royal families of that land to marry into the royal families. All that's recorded information it's just that it's so scattered that you have to know yourself to know your own history for you to put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's in your DNA code as well,
Mm.
which gives you the key to the Akashic records where you can see what everybody else code is too.
Mm. Will you ever write a book, Chief? Because you're a wealth of knowledge. Several people have asked that.
Um, I, yeah, I'm gonna be doing some serious heavyweight writing when Malachi get home because I gotta do some work with him,
Mm.
and I don't know what Larry and Angel Bay want me to do to help them out, but I do know that me and Dr. Malachi got a whole bunch of writing to do, at least about 100 books.
Wow.
So
Okay. That's going to be amazing. Michael Williams, thank you so much for the Cash App. I'm sorry for the super chat. He wants to know, why did they make the more melanated people slaves that were native to the land?
because we looked like the invaders, they put us both in the same condition. We was POWs. They came with slaves, and then in order for us to do the Kanja War, they slaves got to be master. It was a trick. So they scrambled us together, the sardine effect. We think sardines is one kind of fish. It's a whole bunch of different kind of fish. Only way you know that they think they're the same is because they don't got no head and they all stuffed in the can together.
Mm-hmm. 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 You mentioned earlier about the Akashic records. How can you access those or obtain Akashic records?
Look, you got to. It's books to teach you how to activate your ESP. Akashic record is the written record of the planet. When you activate your extrasensory perceptions like psychometry, you pick up a rock, it's going to tell you a story.
Okay.
You touch a tree, it's going to tell you a story.
Yeah.
If you put your knees and your palms and your forehead to the ground, it's going to tell you a whole bunch of stories. But if your psychic channels are clogged up with modern dogma and bullshit, you can't access them. You got too much debris in the way. It's like trying to walk down a pathway that's covered with trash. And the trash is all the lies they told us along the way.
Chief, you have given us so much information and so much hope about, learning who we are and realizing that we're all going to be wealthy and the matriarchy is going to be restored again. I think we're going to be okay. What do you say?
I know we are. Especially now that we ain't falling for the fear mongering.
Okay.
Because it minimizes the chaos effect. Right. I don't care. You can run 10 cars down Bourbon Street. I bet you New Orleans still partying tonight.
Right.
I just know my people. But they're going to be more alert. Somebody else try, he might not come out so good. Because they know what to look for now. Go down there, keep messing around in the you're going to find out why them projects in New Orleans is not to be effed with. F around and find out. F around and find out. Keep messing with them Indians in New Orleans don't play. They tried to take Mardi Gras for them one time. Didn't go well. Haven't touched Mardi Gras since. This the intricate part of the culture that you can't usurp. You can't stop it. Or you trigger the tribes, because the tribes that don't even go to Mardi Gras wake up. Pissed off. Right? And you got to remember, they got equivalent in the islands and in Brazil, Los Carnavals, Mexico, Cinco de Mayo, ancestral reverence days.
Wow.
This for ancestral reverence, to show your ancestors that you know who you are and that you have love for the family land. But when you do that, it empowers you as an individual to be yourself no matter who you're around. So they want us to think Mardi Gras evil. Jazz funerals evil. Jazz funerals is the celebration of a graduation of an elder. What the f*** are you talking about evil? We used to be happy when we graduated from the book of life. Especially when we did something worth celebrating.
Yeah.
Some of us ain't do nothing but be some piece of trash, rotten dog in the street. But some of us really did live a life to be celebrated. And many of them is forgotten now because they've been usurping our culture. But you don't even got to know their name now to feel their energy, because the presence is powerful in this era. And they consistently be peeking in on me. What you doing? I'd be like, come on, man, because if I'm talking to y'all around other people, they swear I done lost my mind. But they be there.
They want to know.
They be showing up. What you doing? Did you finish yet? Oh, Pimp C the worst. Out of all the telepathic chiefs, I wish they turned that nigga telepathy off.
Really?
That nigga get on my nerves so bad. Come on, man. You faster than that, man. Brother need to be seen, man. You know brother need to be seen. This ain't how the life of Pimp. Pimp don't supposed to live like this here. I need to be seen. I need to be out in front of my public. And they got me sitting over here waiting and you taking too long. I'd be like, Pimp, get out my head, man. Leave me alone. You supposed to be dead anyway, nigga. Go act like you dead.
You know who
Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what it is now, man. I need to be seen, man. Look, I need to pop my collar and flip some dollars and show them that the pimp is pimping. Man, I see why Bun B don't be saying nothing. Because if he get on my nerves, man, I can imagine what he doing to Bun. Don't tell that brother, man, to hurry up, man. No, he taking too long. You know, Pimp need to be seen, man. I ain't never been out the public this long. Man, I had more attention to this when I was elementary. I could tolerate DMX because when he come through, all he do is say, he just straight to the point. Get him. He know what I'm doing, so he's just like, get him. ODB, he be on some other stuff. Crazy Horse, man. I swear sometimes you sound like Sirius Jones in my ear. But
that's pretty amazing.
No, it's annoying. It's annoying. Look, I was Triple X, that boy XX Tentacion.
Yes.
I never listened to his music. And then one day he just came in dry and just took over my psyche. And he kept calling me bro. And it was getting annoying, but I didn't know that was a way for his clan to know that he really communicates. Because it started getting on my nerves. So I'm like, quit calling me fucking bro. Why ain't your bro? and I get a message when I get done with the live. I'm like, this nigga get on my nerves with this bro stuff. Man, I ain't your bro. And so the youngster say, he messaged me and everybody. He said, hey, I'm from Triple X Clan. The reason you got annoyed for him calling you bro, because he do that to everybody. And I was just like, man, some people don't need no psychic telephone.
I was going to ask you, do you think some of them are literally passed away, or do you think they're using
telepathy? Triple X told me, man, they think I'm dead, but I ain't dead. I'm like, I'm walking around. I'm like, I'm not dead like you not dead. Dang. Like he was going into details of how he not dead. Wow. And he was like, I don't mean like, because, people be like figuratively speaking since your spirit alive. He was like, no, bro, I'm walking around like you walk around. He said, I just can't be seen right now.
Okay.
Dolph don't never say nothing. He just pop his face in my view and he be looking at me and then he'll say, and then it'd be like telepathic and it'd be like, remember, blood in my eye. That's all he'll say and he'll go.
Blood in my eye.
Yeah, it's a reference, the George Jackson reference, the Gorilla Family. When they killed George Jackson in prison and they asked his mama for a comment, all she could say was blood in my eye, which came the title of his book. His posthumous book was named Blood in My Eye because of her statement. And if you go back and you search the iconography from Young Dolph, you're going to see a pyramid with a red eye on top of it. I mean, blood in my eye from the top. From like whoever it is up there at the top looking down. Yeah. So the hit on Young Dolph was done by the record label.
Mm.
And it was done for two different reasons. One, the only way they can get control of his music is if he died. It was in his contract.
My Lord.
And they had a massive insurance policy on him, but he wasn't aware of the insurance policy.
Okay.
And it was a group, whoever the owner is, they from the Middle East. And they got a group and they got a list of artists' name in a book.
Mm.
And when the money starts to diminish for the record label, they tell him which artist to get next. I think he was behind the Mo 3. Um, it's a couple of them that Empire Records had a hand in their murder. He did a countdown in the photo slide. If you go to owner Empire Records with rappers, you'll see him. He'll be doing the countdown with the different artists. He's counting how many he's killing.
Oh. Mm.
And
Mm.
so he put the hit on them, but if we can confirm the hit, we can extract them.
Okay.
And so when they put the hit on them, psychological operations is in full effect now.
Mm.
Because Farrakhan said, you won't kill another one of us. It's more than one way to skin a cat.
Absolutely.
But some of them chiefs get on my nerves.
You got
They,
people here cracking up.
hey, look. Hey, I'm just they get on my nerves. Like, that's some annoying stuff.
Mm.
I like Left Eye. I never get any communications from Aaliyah. But Left
Mm.
Eye always be looking at her. And I could
I was want to go back when you were saying about America is the new Roman Empire, as well as. Can you hear me good?
I
Yes,
can
we
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay. And I've been doing my research a lot. You can call me the spook who sat by the door. I'm a Kohen. You know what I'm saying to you? A Kohen is a Kohen, which basically is a high priest through bloodline DNA.
I'm with you. With you.
So so I've been studying my background and stuff. It's very interesting. So I'd like to get into this Greek and Egyptian thing. I'm also start off from Egyptian before I went to Hebrew or Israel. You said that the United States is being ruled by the Catholics, but basically by the Romans, which is the new Roman Empire. And this is a question I would like to ask. When the Greeks came to Egypt and they started learning all the things that Egypt knew, what made Egypt fall to the Greeks? Or shall I say, how did the Greeks, I'm being rhetorical, it is no the answer, but still, I would like for you to explain it. How did the Greeks take the identity of the Egyptians or Kemet and place it as their own, and all of a sudden Egypt or Kemet start to fail or fall or start losing their mind?
So what's taking place is the temple priests are removing the power from Kemet, or
How?
else it would have never failed by taking the knowledge of how to rule the area with higher knowledge. They
How?
train.
I hear what you're saying, sir. I just wanted to give me. I would like to for you to tell me the how. I understand the process, yet how? I understand they took the power. How?
They was assisted by the temple priests.
Mm,
That's how it was given to them. They didn't take jack shit. Excuse my language. They didn't take nothing. All this was orchestrated by a priesthood.
mm-hmm. You right about that.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
it's the whole thing is orchestrated. The moon priests is the ones who ran the Roman Empire. They were the ones who brought the Achaean priests down in Greece and took over the Greco-Roman systems.
Mm-hmm.
It was given to them. They didn't take over.
Mm-hmm. It was given, but okay. You say it was given to them.
Right.
Mm,
So the newest addition to the human family tree is those pale faces of Europe. They're
mm-hmm.
the only ones who had never had the opportunity to rule nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Before the close of the age, everybody had to have a right to rule in order to determine the level of civilized that they are. When the European was being propped up as the rulers of the world, they wasn't running, and they still don't run nothing. This is being done by melanated faces behind the scenes that we call Zionist Jews. That's who running the show. The pale faces, the cat's paw. They was propped up as the leadership in order for us to never know who the enemy was.
This is what I discovered, and you probably can piggyback off of it. What I discovered is the Greeks paid attention so much to the Egyptians, or shall I say the Kemet. They didn't understand their language quite, but they became their slaves, or shall I say volunteer indigenous slaves, or whatever you want to call it. As well as they started learning their ways, their culture. But this is the part that, to me, how Kemet fell, they started labeling them. Once they started labeling them, Kemet started to believe they was that label. You know how people call us black people or African American? Once they
Yep.
started labeling them, that's when all of a sudden, do yes, and of course do bumping uglies, aka having sex. And when we get the grandchildren and the great grandchildren, you start the grandchildren thinking that's their name by the label. And when the Greeks start labeling Kemet, the next generation, generation after that, Kemet people start to believe that that's who they were. Once they start believing that's who they were, then that's when the Egyptians came and started taking over who they really are. So when I say that, how did the Greeks took over Kemet and how did Kemet fall? The way I look at it is the person who's analyzing the person don't know what he's doing or don't know what how their culture is. They start labeling. Once they start labeling, if the people next generation don't know who they are originally, they start believing in that label. When they start believing in that label, then that's when they start to fall. And the ones who fall, they're the one who becomes slaves, and the one who did the labeling, they're the one who becomes kings. And they keep on going on through generations from the Egyptians to the Greeks, and keep on going on in history. But a question though, when you said the Romans is ruling America, or this is the Roman Empire, how was that, sir? And I'm
You know
not
what?
debating. I just want to pick your mind.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some background. You know where Washington D.C. is, right? The land of the seven hills. You know, before it was called Washington D.C., what it was named? It was named Rome, right? The place was picked for a very specific purpose because it was supposed to be an embassy for Rome. The White House is Casablanca, and Casablanca go back to the White Temple in Kemet, which is the bank, Big Mama Bank. The Pope is masquerading as Big Mama, but he can't sit on her seat. So he sit his seat under her seat. And Jacob undermined Esau. The underminer undermined the earthborn, the Adama. So the it's all in our face, behind our back. But Rome is the commissioners of the church of the royal families. The Pope crowned the kings and queens. That the Pope is being crowned by blackamoors. And if you don't believe me, just Google Pope kissing their feet. They own the Pope, but the Pope is uh, the CEO of the corporation that's running everything. The Washington, D.C. is a federal corporation, and the stakeholders was Buckingham Palace and the Vatican. The Vatican is called prime stakeholder. That means they own the biggest share of the corporation that's masquerading as our government. All of the police are chartered out of London. All of the priests are chartered out of Rome. Whether they Baptist, Pentecostal, Presbyterian, when they do that 501c3 ministry exempt, that's their allegiance to Rome in order for them to be exempt from taxes. Rome will not tax his own. So you have to register under their corporate fiction as an agent of the church in order to have a priest functioning in tax exempt status on the land. That's how Rome is the continuation in America. Can I answer your question, brother?
Yes, you did. I thank you very much. One small thing, and I'm about to be out. I was talking to a.
You went quiet. Did you mute?
Nah, brother. We got a lot of people. I got to move forward. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Brother Lai is in the building. What up, brother Lai?
Peace and blessings to everybody on the panel. Peace. Good evening.
Peace, brother.
Okay, somewhat to piggyback off of the question that was just asked to the brother in regards for the United States. The question I have for you, Rod, is this: what would be your stance on the new Northern American Free Trade Agreement between Canada as well as Mexico? Now, with that being the case, as you being an indigenous person, what would be your view on the president of Mexico, which has Israel backing, and the president of Mexico being from Israel, and the president from Canada allegedly supposing to be the son of Fidel Castro?
Woo! Heavy question.
Let me start right here. Everything they use to usurp us, we got a right to use it to come up. It don't matter what they tried with NAFTA. It don't matter what they tried with FEMA. It don't matter what they try anywhere in a swamp splushed arena. Everything that they had planned to use against us, the Global 2000 Report World Reduction, the Readiness Exercise 1984, round up the chiefs, right? And the COINTELPRO, stop their leader from rising up to tell them what's going on. Everything that they used became tools for us to navigate around their BS until we can get to a place where we can reclaim what's rightfully ours. As far as the presidents of them countries, I mean, them puppets, flat out puppets. They figureheads. They just been propped up to look like they important to regular people, so the regular people don't know that they mama and they daddy the most important people in their life if they doing what's right. Them people don't mean nothing to me. Like I tell people all the time, I don't care about Trump one way or the other. I just know what his assignment is to make the announcement that the indigenous people then reclaimed America and that is the corporation has been closed. Right? That's all I care about. I don't care about whether Kamala is representing the whore of Babylon or she's gonna fail miserably on purpose. That don't matter to me. But I have to make note of it to the people that's watching so they know what they're looking at. They playing out the prophetic narrative in a theatrical performance called politics. This is all Roman Colosseum design, since we was talking about them earlier, right? All of these corporations are being systematically shut down and the government closed. 90% of the people still don't know the government been closed for 5 years. And they running around talking about electing the president of a dead corporation that's not going to come back to life no matter how many elections they have. And sooner or later, it's going to be revealed that they corporations are no longer and that the tribes have reclaimed the birthrights to the land because it's happening in real time. So that's what I think about Canada, Mexico, and America making the free trade agreement. We got free trade with them anyway. That's still Turtle Island. We don't need no contracts to tell us that we can trade with our cousins up north or our nephews down south. Ain't nobody tell me I can't go over my uncle house and take some gifts to him in Brazil. It's still Turtle Island.
Indeed, brother. But the premise of me asking the question, sir, is this. With the president, normally when a president is a presidency of a country, it
Mm-hmm.
normally derived from being a citizen from that country.
Yeah.
With that being the case, the president of Mexico, original land, and her family's land is Israel.
Okay. What that does in law, that voids out the original constitution when a foreigner take office. Now Mexico is forced into the position to negotiate with people like the Zapatista, right? Now they can go and talk to those people and tell them that Big Mama home and they closing the corporation and we need y'all input for the new government. This is what can happen now. When a foreigner take office under a constitutional government, it immediately suspends the constitution to protect the nation from a coup, from an outside agency, which anybody that coming out of Israel in politics is a Mossad registered agent. So if that person came out of Israel and is occupying the highest office in the land in Mexico, that means that the Mossad secret agency has taken over Mexico. That's what they telling you, right? But what they're not telling you is that Israel is about to fall because it's a fraud. It's a constructed fraud created to push a false narrative that God feel like some people is better than other people.
No, no.